A 2002 study by psychologists at Georgia Institute of Technology, in which over 700 young adults filled out the survey, revealed that people who struggled to let go showed higher anxiety and depression. And not just that, but these people also reported lower well being and purpose in their life. And this is not just overthinking, it's something deeper. It is embedded in how our brain processes emotion, attention, and memory. Let's just think about it for a second. We replay an argument from days ago, wishing if we would have handled it differently. We scroll through old texts and photos, unable to delete them, even though we know the relationship is over. We obsess over a mistake at work, even after everyone else has moved on. And then we lie awake at night, looping through the same thought. Why did this happen? And in each case, the event is over, but our brain is unable to stop. Caswell and colleagues' studies show that this inability to release thoughts is a measurable cognitive and emotional process, which is separate from rumination or overthinking. To understand why it happens, we need to look inside the brain. And there are two main regions that are at play here. First one being amygdala, and the second one is prefrontal cortex. Amygdala, which is your emotional alarm center, whereas prefrontal cortex or PFC is the rational CEO of your brain. On one hand, amygdala spikes when the mind perceives threat, embarrassment, or pain. It's fast, automatic, and evolutionarily designed to protect us. And on the other hand, PFC, which is prefrontal cortex, helps you reflect, reframe, and decide what's worth holding on and when it's time to release. And when you can't let go, the amygdala signal dominates, flooding your system with emotional alarms, whereas the PFC struggles to quiet it. You end up replaying or clinging even when you don't want. But remember when I said in the beginning of the video that the study said people who struggled to let go showed higher anxiety and depression and lower well-being? There was another interesting insight from the study. And the results also showed that people who practiced mindfulness and self-compassion scored much higher in letting go. And this explained their resilience. In other words, the simple act of letting go can make the difference between mental suffering and mental freedom. And this is where mindfulness and acceptance comes into picture. Take Michael Jordan, for example. After being cut from his high school basketball team, he did not spiral into regret. He focused on the next play, the next practice, and the next opportunity, staying present rather than replaying past failures. And on the same tangent, Dalai Lama emphasizes releasing attachment and anger. Holding on to resentment only increases suffering, whereas mindfulness and compassion allows the mind to experience emotions without being trapped by them. And we have plenty of results from brain imaging studies that show that regular mindfulness practice strengthens the neural connection between the prefrontal cortex and the amygdala. It's like giving the CEO of your brain, which is your PFC, a stronger microphone which helps it quiet the emotional alarms and override reactive impulses generated by amygdala. And don't get me wrong, amygdala is not the villain here. Now I feel a little sad about him, but it's actually one of the most important regions of our brain, helping us feel and experience all these beautiful emotions. But what I'm trying to say here is that we need to be more aware about balancing and regulating this region. And over time, this rewiring allows emotional experiences to arise and pass without hijacking attention or spiraling into rumination. You still feel all the emotions, but you don't get stuck in it. And letting go then is not forgetting. It's changing the power dynamics inside our brain. Then the main question that arises is, why does our mind resist letting go even when it hurts? And it is because the brain prefers familiarity over freedom. Even painful thoughts feel safe because they are predictable. And that's why we cling to regrets, replay old arguments, or resist change. Psychologically, holding on gives identity even when it does not serve us anymore. But this fusion of thought and self deepens suffering. And Caswell and colleagues actually showed the same thing in their study, that inability to let go predicted higher anxiety and lower life purpose. And that means the more we cling, the more life feels small, repetitive, and draining. And neuroscience shows that thoughts are electrical patterns. They are transient, ever changing. And what that means is that we can change the outcome, which is our behavior, our actions, or even our thinking patterns. And when we practice letting go, we are not erasing memories. we are reshaping our identity. We are no longer defined by our past events. We start to observe emotions without being consumed by them, and we reclaim the freedom our brains are wired to allow, but that habit often blocks. And I wanted to include a section of recommended books following the tradition from our last video, where we discussed how a simple habit of reading books aligned with your goals can radically help you achieve your goals. And if you want to start your journey of letting go, moving on, or building resilience, then I want to talk about two books in this video. The first one is Wherever You Go, There You Are by John Kabat-Zinn. This book teaches the art of mindfulness in everyday life, showing how to be fully present in each moment, and offers simple practical exercises that help calm the mind, reduce stress, and let go of thoughts that does not serve us anymore. And second one is Emotional Agility by Susan David. This book shows how to navigate your thoughts and emotions with flexibility instead of getting stuck in them. It provides practical strategies to respond to life's challenges with clarity, courage, and self-compassion. And if you've continued watching this video till now, first I want to thank you all for subscribing to this channel. This channel now have 50 subscribers, which was just a dream 15-20 days ago. And so I really wanted to thank you all for taking out time and watching these videos. And the second thing is, if you liked this video, do let me know what you liked about it, and I'll see you in my next video.